Our next speaker will be Kathy Celli from the CTSU. If you participated in the site operations last night, she also spoke, and we're not going to overlap too much. She has some different topics, but this way we're balancing them both out.
Great, thank you very much. My name's Kathy Celli. I'm from the Westat. Our office is in Durham, North Carolina, and I work on our CTSU project. And I'm a project manager for the CDMS Support Center, which provides support for the groups that are using RAVE on studies that are part of the CTEP program. So today I'm going to be presenting on updates that have been made to the source document portal. Let's see, actually. There we go. I just wanted to get back to the agenda. Source document portal, providing some items to keep in mind with the CTEP errors integration, as well as describing some new notifications that we have that are being sent to sites regarding that integration. And I'll be also giving some recent CTSU website updates. So the information on central monitoring using the source document portal was presented at the SWOG spring meeting, and that presentation covered more on the use of the source document portal, navigating through screens, redacting information from documents prior to posting on the portal. So if you need to revisit that presentation, we do have slide sets from past group meetings that are posted to the CTSU website. They're on the resources tab under education multimedia, so you can always reference that if you need more information. But as far as updates, there have been some general updates made. These include items to improve the performance of the source document portal. We've added help topics drop-downs on each of the screens in the source document portal. And there had been some instances preventing the upload of documents to the source document portal using the direct link from RAVE, and those have been resolved in the recent release. So the source document portal screen now contains a document history icon that includes details about document upload, triaging, who viewed the document last, and the date that it was reviewed. There's also been a status column added. There were a few additions to the expected document screen, and that includes a document history icon that appears for documents that have been uploaded. There's a question mark icon that appears for documents that have been rejected, and that displays the reason for the rejection. There's an expected date column that's been added. An uploaded column now indicates whether or not the document's been uploaded. There's an action column that displays a blue icon that indicates the data points that are to be reviewed using that document that's being uploaded. And a green icon that can be used to actually upload the documents on that screen. A list of documents that have been identified as not expected by the LPO can be viewed by clicking on a Documents Not Expected link. I'll just show you the screenshot of this. There's a Documents Not Expected link up in the corner. If you click on that, it'll pull up the list. Before jumping into the CTEP errors integration updates, I did just want to take a moment to review the expected data flow for studies that are using this integration. So sites enter adverse events in RAVE and submit them to CTEP errors rules engine for evaluation to determine whether an expedited report is recommended or not. As long as there's no open queries for any AEs, then all AE data in RAVE will be pushed into CTEP errors. Then CTEP errors returns a recommendation to RAVE indicating whether a report is recommended. And if it is, it'll display create, and if it's not, it will display a none. A direct link is available in the RAVE form that will automatically take you into CTEP errors so that you can complete the expedited report if it's recommended. And in CTEP errors, the adverse event data that's pushed from RAVE will be viewable, but it won't be modifiable. Modifications to adverse event data should be made in RAVE since that is the data source. Any adverse event data that's modified in RAVE will require the rules evaluation to be run again in order for the updated data to be pushed into CTEP errors and everything to be in sync. Collection of adverse event start date and end date are ongoing is required for some studies. If you need guidance on how to enter the start and stop dates, there is a CTEP guidance document that's available on the CTSU website. There's a few reminders related to this integration that I wanted to go over. Adverse events should be entered in RAVE and sent for rules evaluation at the time that the AE is known or reported. If the recommendation from the rules evaluation is to report, then you should use the RAVE link to access CTEP errors to complete the expedited reporting. Beware that if the report was initiated in CTEP errors prior to reporting it in RAVE, then you will get a warning in CTEP errors. Adverse event data should be updated in RAVE and not in CTEP errors. The data entered in RAVE will be passed to CTEP errors, and it will only be editable in RAVE. A field that's entered first in CTEP errors and then later in RAVE could result in reconciliation issues since the data in CTEP errors can't synchronize with RAVE once the expedited report's been submitted to the NCI. And also, if you're entering a verbatim term in RAVE, you're asked not to use any special characters such as ampersand. That could cause an error to be displayed. So if you do get an error, you can report that to the CTSU help desk. There are a couple of new notifications to sites. One of them is a late rules evaluation call. So anytime that a modification is made to the AE form by inserting, modifying, deleting an AE, a query is opened on the form, on the expedited reporting evaluation form. And if the query on this form remains open for longer than 24 hours, then an email notification will be sent to the person that last modified the AE form. And this email notification will state that the AEs were automatically sent for rules evaluation, and it just asks the recipients to review the recommendation on the form and to take any necessary action. There is another email reminder that will be activated soon, I believe by the end of this month, and that's for late report initialization notification. So anytime a recommendation to create a report is generated and displayed on the expedited reporting evaluation form, the site staff are expected to initialize the report in CTEP errors in a timely manner. If the investigator feels that the recommendation is not warranted for the protocol, then the recommendation can be overridden by updating the create to none in RAVE and then not initializing the report in CTEP errors. But if the investigator hasn't overridden the recommendation and a report's not initialized, then an email notification will be sent to the person who last modified the AE form. And the email notification will just indicate that there is a recommendation to report, but that no expedited report's been initialized in CTEP errors. And as I said, that should be, they're just working on the final wording of the notification, so that should be coming out shortly. Website updates and new tools. There have been a few updates made to the CTSU website. The home page subtabs have been redesigned and moved to the center of the page. Document search, DSN search, and DSN file buckets have also been redesigned to be subtabs. I know it's a little hard to see on the screenshot. A CTSU Twitter feed has been added, and the quick links tab has been removed. Study championship information now appears on the protocols tab on the home sub tab. If an individual clicks on the protocol link from other systems that takes them to the CTSU website protocol page, then a message will now display if the individual doesn't have the privilege for accessing that protocol page or if the study is invalid. There are help topic buttons that are now available on the delegation tab, on the RUMS tab, and on the source document portal. You can navigate through the topics by selecting on the drop-down arrow and clicking on the link that's provided. The CTSU has plans to eventually replace the help icons on all of the web pages with this type of help topics drop-down box. There's a couple new tools that can be found on the Resources tab. There's translated short-form consent documents, as well as disease-specific portfolio documents that list the cross-network trials by disease in related categories so that the sites can find other protocols that are in similar categories. So there have been changes to the organization roster I button in RUMS. You can now view public contact and site type, instructions for updating, and you can view primary contacts. There are also new portlets that are available on the dashboard. There's a protocol profile portlet and outstanding funding updates. And you can subscribe to these new crisp notifications to alert you to protocol document postings. So one last reminder, and I did not put this slide together, but take care with your passwords, change them regularly, and don't leave them on your desk, and don't share them with anybody. So I'll leave you with that. Happy to take any questions, and I'll advance past that slide. Okay, great. Well, thank you.